Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. This time I want to talk about Doctor Who and the Poisoned Chalice. Yeah, that's a story you've never heard of. Admittedly, it sounds like a Harry Potter title, but bear with me, because it's not. You know, there are people out there who go, "Oh, I hate Doctor Who." And I was thinking of making a t-shirt that said, open brackets, insert name of current showrunner, close brackets, must go, exclamation mark. Because that is how a lot of people feel. Oh, it was so much better under X. Now that we're under Y, it's nowhere near as good. Oh, I can't believe they've done X with the show. They've changed something. Let's face it, the entire program is about change. Now, hating the showrunner kind of dates back to the very late 70s, early 80s, well, the entire 80s. Let's face it, even Chibnall was responsible for part of it. Oh, JNT doesn't know what they're doing. Except JNT was like radiotherapy. The show was ill. It needed to be cured. And he was the cure. And in many respects, as far as some people were concerned, the poison. The guy kept the show running much longer than anybody else would have. That level of passion, that level of creativity, and knowing their own limitations and getting other people in to fix things is brilliant. But as fans, of course, we can't see this. Oh, the effects haven't had as much money spent on them. No one sets out to make a bad TV programme. But now that Russell's coming back, where are people going to go? They're going to go, oh, things under Russell are nowhere near as good as they were under Russell. Well, that's just going to make no sense whatsoever. Picture something. Do it for me. Do you remember pubs? Old-fashioned pubs, a place where you would go apparently to consume drink. Now, you're in a pub. Yeah, use your imagination. You're in a pub and you overhear a conversation. And the conversation is about sport. Now, normally, like me, you would completely tune out and think about, oh, I don't know, run old episodes of Doctor Who in your head. But bear with me. Just listen in to the chat. The chat consists mainly of one guy saying, oh, the England manager, what's he doing with this team? All of the people, oh my God, the people they've selected are wrong. What they should be doing is this. And then they go on and they tell you in great depth how this person isn't as good as the person who used to be doing the job, isn't capable, and is doing things wrong, and how they, more importantly, could do things better. We, my friends, are the same. We go, oh yeah, I could do that job better. Now picture it. Could you do the job better? Seriously. Could you dedicate your entire life to Doctor Who? Stupid question. Most of you already do. I know it's a huge section of my life. But can you dedicate yourself to a life around Doctor Who with nothing else? Almost to the exclusion of a life. Your online presence would be decimated. Your worldview would have to become insular, become secretive because you couldn't share it with anyone. Oh, but I'd get to play with the toy box. Think about it for a moment. There's several points I need to make, but one of them is stories. Like me, you've probably got, 2, 3 Doctor Who stories in your head where you want to go, oh yeah, I'd love to tell that story. 3 stories. Let's face it, in a season of 12 stories, that's not even a quarter. It's not. And yes, you'd be the showrunner. You'd be the person in charge. You'd be the person everyone's going to blame if it goes wrong. And not even like when it goes right. Because when it goes right, they will ignore the fact that it's gone right, because that's what they expect. Until 10, 15 years' time, when they look back and go, I really liked that story. That spoke to me. Because anticipation is the natural standpoint for us Doctor Who fans. We think something's going to be terrible. We expect it to be terrible. We are terrible people for doing this. So it's not just the quantity of stories that people have to come up with time and time and time again. You are doing, 4 seasons? Have you got 3 stories, 5 stories, 13 stories, 26 stories, 50? I can't even do the maths. You know I can. But you know what I'm saying. Oh, yes, you get other writers in. Yeah, you do. And then people say, oh, this person's not as good as this person. So who do you fall on? You fall to your friends who you can count on, who can deliver the product, who know the show. But they're going to give you something different from what you would give. It's not your vision. So all of these people, these armchair Doctor Who fans who think I could do that job better, look at it this way. RTD tells a story in the writer's book about how he had to sacrifice the main central character of Sarah Jane. The Sarah Jane Adventures had in the pilot one person who didn't make it into the TV series. They got rid of her because she was a perfectly decent actress, but she wasn't as good as everyone else. She sacrificed someone. He sacrificed someone for the good of the show. But here's the important bit. Christopher Eccleston did not enjoy his time on the show. And Russell T Davies took the hit. He made himself out as the villain of the piece, the reason that Eccleston left. He was the reason as far as us fandom was concerned. He took the hate for us. We were all, oh no, it's RTD's fault that Christopher left. It's absolutely not. Russell was protecting his star at all times. He was protecting his mental health. He was protecting the product, the show itself, because that requires an absence of ego. There will be other examples that we'll find out as time goes by. Common human decency is what was cited as Eccleston not being part of the regeneration sequence in the anniversary special. These things are real world issues, but of course that doesn't affect us armchair pundits who sit and moan and say we could do the job better. Trust me, we couldn't. Think about it. The next time you kick off about how terrible a showrunner is, think about what that actually means. No one sets out to make a bad show. Everyone sets out to make a great show. Everyone sets out to tell brilliant stories. They're not always going to succeed. But the fact that Doctor Who is still with us really counts for something. Oh, the viewing figures have gone down. They haven't. It's fine. You can prove 1,000 things with maths, but the way that we all consume TV now is totally different from the way things were in the past. A world of 3 channels where 2 of them were on strike, resulting in ridiculous viewing figures for the City of Death, is not the same world with Netflix and Disney Plus and Sony half-owning Bad Wolf. These are different worlds. And that Chinese curse of may you live in interesting times kind of applies here. So remember, it's all right. No producer, no showrunner gets hired without a track record. And we really, really need to give them some slack. And with that, I'll fade away and probably get a lot of hate mail. So until next time, be seeing you.